Rupert Verco joins us today to talk about the rare earths opportunity that Cobra Resources has in Australia. Rupert, tell us what it's all about.
Hi, Alistair. Sure, absolutely. Look, Alistair, 12 months ago, Cobra Resources, we did a lot of work on understanding rare earth mineralization systems. And over our extensive 4,500 square kilometre land tenure, we were looking at how rare earths were transported in the weathering profile. And we managed to define ionic mineralization in a geological setting that is akin to sandstone-hosted uranium. And what's important there is it sits under an aquifer and the geology is permeable. And that brings into play a very low cost and highly environmental credentialed form of mining called in-situ recovery. And so in-situ recovery involves no trucks, no excavators. It's all about drilling holes, putting in bores, and you inject and extract. And that really lowers the cost of the capital required and the infrastructure. And it really reduces both your carbon and your disturbance footprint of your mining processes. So we see it as being a really significant opportunity to lower the cost of production in a critical mineral that's essential to decarbonisation. And we believe our project is very unique in that sense. We're the only rare earth company exploring in situ recovery. And we have prospectively a really scalable asset that we're currently focusing on the metallurgical component to show that really low cost opportunity. And we look forward to really demonstrating the scale of what we believe we have.
So what are the next steps then?
So yesterday, Alistair, we announced the metallurgical results. And these results showed that we're getting very, very good. We're getting recoveries of around 41% with very low impurities and very low acid consumption. And what that means is we can really optimize those recoveries because rare earth metallurgy and processing is a function of the cost of the acid required to achieve the recoveries, and then the simplicity of the process for your flow sheet is driven on the level of impurities, and the impurities that we have are exceptionally low. So we have a lot of opportunity to focus on increasing those recoveries from 41% to get them higher on these very high grade zones. And when you couple that with the lowest cost form of mining, which is in situ recovery, that's demonstrated in the uranium industry. We're very excited about the opportunity that we're presenting to the market.
So how much of a resource do you think you've got over there?
Well, what we've done, Alistair, is we've managed to define, and look, I think we've focused on three key things, and what we're working to define is what we think is required to make an ISR ionic rare earth project successful. Those three components for us is concentrated grades. And when I mean concentrated grades, we want to see narrow zones that are confined in permeable geology. We currently have a bench scale ISR test underway, and that is underway on a sample that is over 4,500 ppm TREO, total rare earth oxide. That's very enriched in heavy rare earths, which are the valuable rare earths. What we also need is ISR extraction. So we're focusing on demonstrating the permeability and the ability to be able to permeate the geology with the lixiviant and extract those rare earths. And then obviously scale is very important. And we don't like to overspend. So what we've done is we've gone through and reassayed all the historic holes in these paleo systems, which are uranium focused. And we've been able to define very significant footprints of this rare earth mineralisation. If we look at the Bolan prospect, which we're currently advancing towards a pilot study, we have over 139 square kilometres. So if we put that into context, that's a significant area that's about the same size as London as a city. And we have over 2,000 square kilometres of further paleo system where in a second paleo channel, we've confirmed this style of mineralisation as well. And we're looking to advance that. So we think we have a multi-generational opportunity here to produce what would be a strategic and very low-cost source of ionic rare earths.
I mean, you mentioned low cost right at the end there. I think one of the interesting aspects of this is that this project is likely to be able to compete with the Chinese dominance of the rare earths industry, both in terms of the quality of the product that you're going to produce, in terms of the cost it's going to be produced at, and I suppose as well as an additional factor, the minimal environmental footprint, which you mentioned earlier on in the conversation. So all these three things position your project very well against the Chinese projects that are already out there.
Absolutely. I think what's important, Alistair, to understand is we're not redefining a new process. This is a proven process that's been demonstrated in the uranium industry. In the uranium industry, if we look at ISR projects, the capex is generally about 1/10 of a hard rock mine, and then they operate at sort of 40% lower in terms of OPEX. What that has allowed those ISR operations to be able to do is it's meant that they've been able to withstand the low points in the commodity cycles for uranium, and they've been able to expand and grow and maintain very positive economics, and now they account for over 60% of global uranium production. So ISR is a well-defined and demonstrated method. We're in a jurisdiction that endorses it. We have 3 operating ISR mines in South Australia, and as a company and a board, we have experience in it. So we see it as a significant opportunity that we think could potentially redefine the cost of production for these critical minerals that are required for decarbonisation.
So there's plenty to get to grips with here for investors. What is the likely news flow from the company going forward before we wrap up this chat?
Sure. Well, what's going to set us apart from others is our metallurgy and in situ recovery. So what we're really focusing on at the moment, Alistair, is demonstrating that. We have a number of bench scale ISR studies underway at the Australian Nuclear Scientific Technology Organisation, or ANSTO. And that work is really focused on, one, advancing the network that we've done and de-risking the in situ recovery component. We've installed a well field that we hope to take to a pilot study in a very short time frame, and then we're looking to advance our flow sheet. So we're looking at very low cost options like membrane desorption, which are applied in the direct lithium extraction process. And what we hope to do is really define a very low cost flow sheet to support a scoping study where we'll be working to define a resource to close out the end of this year. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us in a very short period of time.
Fascinating stuff. Well, we'll be watching with interest. Rupert Verco, Cobra Resources, thanks very much for joining us today.
Thanks for your time, Alistair.